Hello everyone, and this is my review for TNA Impact Wrestling on April 11th, 2013. And this was obviously billed as one of their little bigger shows. They were just going into Corpus Christi, Texas. And to be honest with you, the show itself I felt was very mediocre. It just really doesn't hold up to snuff to a typical TNA product. Honestly, the best match of the night was the first match with Austin Aries and Bobby Roode versus Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez, the 2 out of 3 Falls Tag Team title match, with Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez actually going over. In all honesty, it was a great match. It was like I said, it was the best match of the night. It was actually a great match. The only real gripe I could have had out of it was that it was more of a glorified one-fall match with the first 2 falls happening so quickly. But other than that, it was a great and fun match to watch in general. The match with Gail Kim and Tara Terrell, honestly, obviously at this point Tara Terrell is very green in the ring, not very good at this point in time, and quite honestly this one definitely showed in this match. It was not all that good. It was probably not even really okay in my mind in that sense either. It just really didn't come off all that well in my mind. So hopefully, she'll learn learn going into the future and things will get better, but I definitely did not like that match this week as well. The Joseph Park Devon promo, where Joseph Park comes out and talks about, being a defense lawyer and everything. Honestly, it kind of felt useless to me in any sense of the word. It just felt like filler time. To just try to fill up a little bit more time inside of the actual show itself, and it really did nothing. Again, it just did not do anything for me in any way, shape, or form. It really felt out of place. It really didn't ever... I know they have the whole aspect of Brooke Hogan wanting to divorce Bully Ray and everything, but it really made no sense to put Joseph Park into that area outside the fact that he does play a lawyer for his character now. And like I said, just bringing up the whole legal aspect of it really did not make any sense in any way, shape, or form for the actual storylines with Aces and Eights and Brooke Hogan and Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan, all that aspect. So yeah, that was another segment that was kind of just out there and blah. But for aspects of the show that I definitely did like I said before, the tag match at the beginning of the show was a great match. Also, I liked the segment with Hogan, AJ Styles, James Storm, and eventually brought in Christopher Daniels and Kazarian in there. But basically, all of them trying to convince AJ on whose side should they actually join. Of course, James Storm's kind of just out there because he wants to have a match or fight AJ Styles. Hogan trying to get him to join TNA, and all of a sudden Daniels and Kazarian trying to get him to join them. Of course, backstage with Mr. Anderson talking to AJ, trying to get him to join Aces and Eights. That was actually a fairly fun and entertaining aspect to the show, and definitely led in well to the next week, which is AJ Styles and James Storm. So that will be interesting to see where they actually go with that. Obviously, they didn't have AJ make a decision this week. That will be somewhere else down the road. I'm still thinking that he'll side with no one and kind of just be his own thing again. So we'll see where they actually go with that in the future. The Joey Ryan deal from the week before, where he was like where he was the referee in the Knockouts match, and led into kind of led into where the heel team won on purpose, all that type of deal. Honestly, Joey Ryan does nothing for me as a character. He doesn't seem all that great in the ring to begin with. He has a character that could be extremely interesting, but doesn't really back it up with all that much in my mind. I don't even see the point of Joey Ryan being there. And then of course they put him into a squash match with Rob Terry. Unless they're trying to make him that goofy type of heel character where he is somewhat funny, but is a complete heel in every sense of the imagination, where he just goes out there and gets squashed by the faces, then I actually see a somewhat of a point of him being around. But at this point, I see no point of Joey Ryan even being on the main show, on the Impact shows in general. So yeah, that's just my aspect of that as well. Also, I would really like to see them do more with Matt Morgan, other than just like these backstage segments right now, where he's just saying, "Oh, another Hogan mistake, another Hogan mistake." I want to see where they're gonna go with it. Because it seemed like a long, probably about a month ago now, where he actually fought Joseph Park, and his aspect was to try to eliminate all Hogan's mistakes one by one. Well, he really hasn't done that over the last few weeks. He's kind of just said, "Oh, this is another Hogan mistake." When is he going to go back to trying to eliminate those mistakes in any way, shape, or form? And honestly, I would like to see them actually go back to that route where he's doing that in the ring, or doing that more than just a backstage segment of the show in any way, shape, or form. And this pretty much brings me to where the main event was for the night, which was Jeff Hardy and Bully Ray for the heavyweight title, and the Full Metal Mayhem match. And to be honest with you, it was a mediocre match. The match that they put on at Lockdown was far better than the match that they put on here. You could tell there was a lot of rest time in between each of the spots, and even during even in the setups of some of the spots, especially the swanton off the top rope to the outside, you could tell Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy were taking it very gingerly. You could definitely see how slowly Bully Ray was, placing himself onto the table. It wasn't, it was very telegraphed where they were going with each of the spots in the match itself. All in all, I mean, the match wasn't a horrible match. It just felt like a mediocre, it felt a lot slower type of a match, especially for a ladder match, which are usually a lot more fast-paced, especially with those two in the ring. They usually pull off a lot more fast-paced type match in general. So just overall, I felt that the show itself this week was just a very mediocre show. It wasn't anything great. It wasn't anything all that good in terms of setup or continuing the storylines. Matches themselves outside of the first match were mediocre at best. In the way that they presented them on the show. I mean, you even had one squash match in there that really meant nothing. The knockouts match was no good in any way, shape, or form. And like I said, the Full Metal Mayhem match for a ladder match in general was just mediocre. It wasn't anything great at all. So basically saying, this week's TNA Impact was just a mediocre show in my mind. And that's basically all I have to say. So this was my review of TNA Impact Wrestling this week. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.